Hey Sam, why are you wearing a rucksack? Because I'm going for a very, very long run. I used to run ultras, haven't done it for ages, what with COVID and whatnot. But I think I can run a long way again. So there's one way of finding out, right? I'm only going to run 30k today, 30-ish. But that means it's going to be about 3.5 hours. So I want to get, well, I need to carry water and sugar. Sugar keeps you happy when you're long running. If you haven't got sugar, you get grumpy. I fancy to run by the sea, so I'm going to run down by the sea, run on the beach, run around the coast a bit, and then run back up. Most of what I'm going to try and do is going to be on trails. There's a bit of tarmac, but most of it's away from road and traffic. There's a couple of longer runs I fancy doing. 20k is too short, 30k is an okay challenge. And also, I've got to remember how to carry a bag. Now this is going to sound counterintuitive, but this first week back to teaching proper, and Annabelle's been back to school, so everybody's been back to getting up early and doing the usual routine. It's been really tiring. We've got more students this year. So like on Monday, we had what, 280 students, not in the lecture theatre, but in separate small groups, and I tried to speak to everybody. It was exhausting. So by the weekend we were all very, very tired. Yesterday was actually dry enough that we could have gone climbing, and we didn't, which is a terrible indicator, but also an indicator of how we kind of needed a day off. So today I'm going for a really long run to tire myself out. I told you it was counterintuitive, right? But because nobody else really wants to do much, also it's going to rain today, so no climbing today, that means I can go out and tire myself out and nobody else really needs me. That's the idea anyway. We've had loads of rain and the trails are nice and soft now. Soft trails are good for my ankles, tendons, feet. Tarmac isn't, and there's quite a bit of tarmac today, and that's the bit I'm most worried about. I don't know if I've tried this out before. This is a like a squidgy salmon bottle. I got it in a, you know, one of the races I did. It was chucked into the goodie bag. It doesn't slosh and have a hard battle. It sloshes once you've drunk a bit, but yeah, seems all right. Doesn't fit brilliantly into this pouch. Fits better into the salmon pouches, I guess. Tarmac. But I need to test myself, see if I break. Much better. So the students that started this week, they've started on this new path. They know where they want to get to, and they turn up to all their lectures and practical sessions, and they learn, and they'll get to the end of that path, and they've got this steely-eyed focus. And when I was competing, I used to have the same sort of thing. There would be an end goal, you'd set a plan, you'd follow that plan and not have to think too hard about it, and I miss that. And I quite enjoy having the flexibility of doing whatever I want to do now, but it takes quite a bit of energy and motivation to keep doing that, and I fear I'm going to lose it as I get older. I'm going to run all the way around there, all the way around there, and keep going. 10k done. About an hour and a quarter. Bit behind schedule, but I'm trying to run slower, so slow is good. That's a win. That's it, I run out of beach. Oh. steep bits. Sea looks nice and warm. Right, last bit of beach, and then we're going back up over the top of the Gower back towards home. I say back towards about maybe about halfway. That last 5k ticked off, hardly got noticed because, well, it's fun running by the sea. One of the hardest things about ultra running is the discipline to walk when it gets uphill, when it gets steep, and then as you get more tired, to be disciplined to start running again as it flattens off. Takes a bit of practice. There's no point running up steep things. You just, this is super steep. This is like 1 in 5, 1 in 4. Just tire yourself out. Don't really go any faster, and you're less likely to finish the route. When you're walking, you can take that opportunity to take your bag off, sling it around your shoulder, get your other bottle out, refill your bottle, things like that, right? Right here I'm going to need to use my watch to navigate because I haven't been through here for some years. I think it's over there somewhere. Yeah. I did briefly go the wrong way, but my watch got me back on track straight away. So useful. It says I've only got 13.5k to go. Easy peasy. And the rest of that is soft trails, hills, quiet stuff. Nice. Before COVID, all teaching was face to face. We didn't call it that, we didn't really have a name for it, because that was just what we did. We went to lecture theatres, the teachers and the students, and we went to the lab and we taught things and we learned things, and it worked great. There are things like online courses, but that's what we did. Then with COVID, of course, that suddenly stopped. We had to work out how to continue doing that online, and we had synchronous and asynchronous teaching, online learning, and everybody said, we hate this sucks, we want to go back to face-to-face teaching as quickly as possible, we're not getting a good deal, this is really bad. And now, a couple of years later, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to push everybody back to face-to-face teaching. Everybody get in the lecture theatres, everybody get into the lab, and we'll do this like we did this before, because that's what everybody said they wanted. And people are saying, but it's, blimey, this is overgrown. But it's kind of convenient. I like having the lectures recorded, and I'll watch them later in the week, honest, and I don't have to go to the lecture, I don't actually have to get out of bed. And teachers are saying, well, if it's online, I don't have to travel to give the lecture. It works fine online, I don't have to give up half of my day travelling. These are all good. Oh, blimey. Oh, there's a path. You know, some of these are good arguments and reasons, and some of them are not. But we're in this strange limbo of, what do we do? Well, I'm teaching anatomy in the lab. I'm not recording it or making it, you know, doing live video. but I make videos on YouTube every week. What I'm saying is, you gotta come to the lab, you gotta come to every practical session, and you gotta study. I'd say that for every lecture as well. You guys told us you wanted face-to-face teaching. We're doing face-to-face teaching. Please get in the habit, get in the routine of coming to every lecture. Lectures are supposed to be like 45, 50 minutes long. I know they're not always brilliant, but you don't know if it's going to be a brilliant one until you turn up. So, first rule of training when you have a plan is turn up, and then if you really do feel too tired, turn around and go home. First rule of university is turn up. The trick is you can't go home. Once you're in the thing, you're in the thing. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, please go to the teaching sessions. Make it part of your learning routine. Some of you are getting back to learning now, and some of you are starting afresh, so it's different for all of you, but it'd be worth it, honest. There's a small airport on Gower, so we get small planes overhead. Another way of putting it is, to start this course, you told us this course was right for you, and that you were, you know, right for this course. So the course is the teaching. Come to the teaching. Sheep. Hey, sheep. Something 22k, and I feel fine, but on the tarmac my feet are sore and my hips are a bit sore. But running single track like this, you don't really notice it. You just keep moving along and, I don't know, thinking about what you're doing. And I think because of the changing terrain and the changing position, it helps. When it's on tarmac, your stride is exactly the same each time, and it gets wearing. Yeah, I quite liking this bottle. It sloshes a lot less. Doesn't really work brilliantly with this bottle pod, but maybe a shorter one would. But so much less sloshing than you would normally. There'd normally be a constant slosh, 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 slosh of the hard bottle in there. 30k is more interesting than 20k, because ultra running really is about learning to keep running when you're tired, both physically and mentally. And 20k, you get tired but you're done. 30k, you know, you get tired at about 20k and you have to keep going. And it's about time on your feet really. So I've been running for 3 hours now, and your hips get tired and everything gets a bit shorter, and you just learn to keep going, learn to keep going forward and pushing, right? And all the ultra events I've ever done, all the ultra runs have been at least 50k longer than this. So 30k is just like the first part of the day, and then you're going to be running 85, 100k. If you're running a 100 miler, that's 160 kilometers, remember. Bending down gets harder. Right, final climb coming up, and then it's all downhill to home from there. My brain has kind of slipped into this different mode. I've forgotten about this ultra mode where you just quietly tick along. Right, here's the top. looks like it's going to be about, I've got a few more K to do, it looks like it's going to be about 31.5 K, so that's just shy of 20 miles, right? Probably 3 3/4 hours, nice and slow, which is ideal. Yeah, running downhill is sometimes harder than running uphill when you're tired, because you get to walk uphill when you're tired. But I can do it. I have shown myself that I can still do this. Good.